In this video I'm going to try and show how you can change decimals into fractions. I'm going to do the first of two videos, and in this particular video I'm going to look at simple terminating decimals. What I mean by that is decimals that stop. So for example, I'm going to look at 0.3 and change that into a fraction, 0.65, change that into a fraction, 0.426, change that into a fraction. Each of these decimals stop and don't carry on. They're not recurring decimals or decimals that go on forever. Now, in order to work out what these decimals are as fractions, we have to remember what each of these decimal places mean. If I take a number like, for example, 345.692, okay, what we need to remember, of course, is that that 3 means 3 hundredths, 4 tens, 5 units, and the decimal point tells us that this is 6 tenths, 9 hundredths, and 2 thousandths. So if we apply that knowledge and think about what 0.3 means, it means 3 tenths. 0.65 is 6 tenths and 5 hundredths, or 65 100ths. And with 0.426 it's 4 tenths, 2 hundredths, and 6 thousandths, or altogether 426 1 thousandths. So clearly what we've done here is we've changed a terminating decimal into a fraction by thinking about what it actually means. And there we have the answers. Now 0.3 is 3 tenths and we can't do anything with that, but with 0.65 we get 65 hundredths, and we can cancel that down. We can look to see if there's any number that divides into 65 and into 100, and clearly we can divide by 5. So 5s into 65 go 13, 5s into 100 go 20. We've cancelled that fraction down. 0.65 is equal to 13 twentieths. We can do the same with this one, 0.426. Well, we're looking for a number that goes into both 426 and 1000, and it's going to be 2 to start off with. So 2's into 426 go 213, and 2's into 1000 go 500. Now clearly into 500 it goes 10s and 5s and 2's, but we can't find any number that also goes into 213, so that will be the fraction cancelled down. So what you're looking at trying to do when you're turning decimals into fractions is think about what it means, write it out of 10 or out of 100 or out of 1000, and then if you can, cancel down. There are some fractions that you'll be expected to know off by heart, some decimals into fractions. And the simplest one, of course, is 0.1 is equal to 1 tenth. That's something you just need to know, that is true. We go 0.2 then is going to be equal to 2 tenths, and if we cancel this down we can work out that this is 1/5. So this is common knowledge. You should know this and try and remember this when you're working with decimals and fractions. 0.3, as we've already seen, is equal to 3 tenths, and clearly 0.4 is equal to 4 tenths, which cancels down to 2/5, and you may see some sort of a pattern going on here. And another most common fraction that we come across, 0.5, which is equal to 5 tenths, and that clearly cancels down to a half, and most of us know that that is something that we use regularly. 0.5 is the same as a half. The other common fractions that you should know are, for example, 0.25, and that works out to a quarter, 25 out of 100, which cancels down to a quarter. 0.75, another one you should know off by heart, which is 3/4. And then we're looking at some recurring decimals which we can change into a fraction. These again you should know off by heart. 0.333333 recurring forever on works out to 1/3, and 0.66666 recurring on forever and ever comes to 2/3. These are common fractions and decimals that you really should know, and you don't really need to work them out. You just remember that these are true. But normally changing decimals into fractions, as we've already mentioned, we would write them as tenths or hundredths and then cancel down.